Well, he was his full self when he was out there today. 10-12 passing for 165 yards and a touchdown. Hessen hands it off, and there goes Jordan Brunson into Central Michigan territory and more with a blocker. Finally dragged down from behind inside the 5-yard line. Another huge chunk play for Miami, and this time it's the redshirt junior back from Alpharetta, Georgia.
2nd down and goal. Mejia barking his signals. He'll line up time under center.
Oh.
And again, a mess with the snap, and that was on the ground again. And this ball is loose.
Wasn't blown dead.
They have not blown the whistle. Eastern Michigan is going to walk it in. 98 yards for the touchdown. St. Francis will get it back. When we return, you're watching MAC football right here on ESPN.
Holst taking a shot, miscommunication. How'd he do it? Impossible! Grayson Barnes took what should have been an interception and turns it into a Huskies touchdown. Unreal!
One-on-one opportunity with the safety over the top. Puts it to where only Grayson Barnes can get it. Jaden Davis underneath him. Dean Clark thinking, I got an easy interception.
Fordham won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so Bowling Green will be on offense to begin. It is Justin Peggies on the return, working that right side. Peggies is on the run! Running toward that sideline. Peggies got a block. Opening kick, touchdown for Justin Peggies. How about that for a start to your season, Ryan?
No problem, I got you. Hey, let me tell you what I like most about this. Watch the effort from number 28, Jai Sean. Right here, watch, he gets both of these guys. Where's one block, and there's another. And that's how you get your kick returner into the end zone. What a start for the Falcons.
100 yards.
If you get the look, you take this throw.
It's Keeney James working the inside. Pumachan has to avoid the rush. Pumachan just trying to avoid it and throws it up. The interception in the end zone. Still running down the sideline, keeping his balance. We might have a pick six. Yes, racing over 100 yards, punctuating it. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Do you dance? Do you dance? I see you, Buffalo. Bend, don't break. Pumachan, oh my God, just trying to force that. Marquise Cooper, give me that. Thank you.
Play fake.
Oh, yeah.
Labus is going to step up.
Taking
Deep ball. It open. Solomon Davis inside the 10. Touchdown, CMU. 72 yards.
He's the running back alongside Hessen. Davis finds a hole, finds a crease. Makes another man miss, and down the sideline he goes to the 5-yard line.
I can't comment on anybody right now. I'm just here to enjoy this great football game by these two MAC opponents, and what a touchdown.
Gabbard with a wide open Javon Tracy, and the Redhawks break things open. Just looked like it might be out of the reach, but Javon got to the football, and the redshirt sophomore from Indianapolis with a huge play.
20 seconds runs off the clock.
Glasser, dead throw is intercepted. Nessie Bowers could go all the way. Touchdown, Toledo.
Intercepted by Nasir Bowers to the end.
All you can say is, wow. What a play on the edge by Nasir Bowers. Second pick of the season, excuse me.
55-24, exactly. Then they got blanked by Tennessee, 71-0 and 56-0 to Penn State. Punt return from Owen, Coleman Owen. They had a kickoff return for a touchdown, and now Coleman Owen is going to try to get a punt return for a touchdown, and he does. "61 yards.
The last thing you want here is for another drive to stall.
Pressure. Samanza gets rid of it. And has Bowickins. There he goes inside the 5 for a touchdown. 55 yards on 3rd and 10. And the first touchdown of the year. Albert Mims re-enters the game at running back. Fake it to him.
Grande Udo, feature back here. Stewart in motion. They have a little freeze option, runs. Breaks a tackle, Bryson Daly is loose. Looking for the end zone, he's in! Touchdown Army! What a start for the Black Knights!
Raiola, here comes a safety blitz, gets rid of it. Almost intercepted, then caught, and a touchdown, Ramir Johnson! Wow!
Will Ferrin from 46. He's hit from as long as 54 this season, and they fake it. It's Ferrin around the edge. He's got options, and he keeps it. That's a BYU down. A beautiful play call, and they get the 4th down conversion again on an 8-yard run.
How about that trickery for some fun out there on a Saturday? Unbelievable play call, gutsy decision.
A decent clip, but they hadn't done much on the ground in this game.
Oh, look at Arch Manning. Oh, hit him with the 2-step. Arch Manning, touchdown.
Tush-push edition. Greenwood with help from behind. Legs still churning.
And Greenwood still going.
And he escapes. Greenwood out of the pack across the 20, the 10. Greenwood touchdown out of the tush-push. Ethan Greenwood more than 50 yards on that carry somehow.
A minute and a half at the...
Here they come after him.
2nd and 10. Williams in trouble. Trying to scramble out of it. And throws late, and he completes it. And it's Jeremiah Hunter inside the 10-yard line. How did he get rid of the ball?
How did he see anybody? I thought he was just getting rid of it.
Aguilar.
We've seen Hail Marys here before, Matt.
Can they get one at the end of the half? We can!
Boston, that leads the league. Pressure off the edge, and it's intercepted. D'Angelo Pons, roll out the big red carpet. Touchdown, Indiana.
They're down in 11. Ward able to spin free of Searcy. And then goes to the end zone. And in the back of the end zone, it is Jacoby George. My, oh my, Cam Ward's having himself a day.
For a little glory. Here's a switch. It's Payne, ready to take the direct. He will flip to Braxton, trying to do it again. Open man! He's in! Chuck Montgomery has delivered the East title to the Marshall Thundering Herd!
Snap down, kick on the way. Does it have enough leg? It is up and it is gone! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Congratulations, young man. The longest field goal at the Lincoln Financial Field. 64 yards.
A day.
Going to look towards the end zone. Pressure coming. He's going to fire it up there. We've seen Hail Marys work before. Oh my goodness! It's a touchdown. You gotta be kidding me! Randy Pittman Jr. from Dallas.
One of these officials coming across the field. They may change the spot. Maybe not.
Haynes and Miller in the backfield. First time we've seen this look. And now Miller motions out. Milroe just takes off. Guess what? Quarterback run. Jalen Milroe to sprint. Number 4 with his 4th rushing touchdown. 72 yards. A dagger to the Tigers' hopes. And Milroe continues to absolutely terrorize the defense.
Reggie Love now leaks out of the backfield, and that's a pick! And there's the defensive play! Chainsaw starts! Touchdown Beavers!
He almost gets cut, but gets his hand out, kicks off the foot of the running back, and right back to him.
On either side of Blake Horvath. Horvath will pull it from high and right. Open field for Blake Horvath. Yes, he can run all the way down the field. Give that middle just short. Now 94 yards from Horvath.
Yeah, to me, it's a touchdown from that angle.
After review, it was confirmed the runner broke the plane of the goal line, resulting in a touchdown.
Has made some big plays downfield.
Got a small shovel pass. Sanders. Rocket Sanders dances to the 5. And he punishes his way into the end zone. South Carolina back in front.
At Death Valley. And that is no easy place to play. And I was impressed with Garrett Nussmeier. Oh, wow.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Antoine Jr. with an unbelievable catch for a touchdown.
For Cal in the red zone. Mendoza checks it down. Thomas is immediately got it away. Mendoza scores. Wow!
Behind you now. An unreal Allen. And there he goes. JT into the clear blue. Touchdown.
She go score a touchdown. He grabs him. Stop.
3rd and 10. Looking long in the corner. It is Nair. It is intercepted. That is taken away. Came away with what he thought was a pilfer. But yeah, he breaks the plane. That's a great call, partner.
Oh, no. They're going to have to look at this. That's Cox's ball.
Yeah.
That is Cox's ball. They're going to have to look at it.
The ball was loose as it went to the ground. Illinois came up with the ball. It is an interception. Touchback, first down.
Silas Bolden with a chance as a return man to set up Texas in good field position as he returns it from the
And he breaks through. Look at Silas Bolden. Goodbye.
On the season, -2 tonight.
Their 19th turnover on the season.
Lagway in trouble. So tough to take down. Spins out of the sack. Throws on the run. First down. Florida. There's a flash of what makes this freshman quarterback so special.
And look, before that throw, DJ Lagway is 1 of 6.
Marshall, the running back. Miller flings it. Lance, a one-handed grab, but incomplete. Lance, Trip Self, our replay official, out of the Southern Conference. I think he caught it.
After video review, the player in control with the body part down.
No timeouts. 31 yards away. Only an 8-point game. South Carolina. Here's the strike they want to the end zone. Incomplete for South Carolina. Let's bring in our rules expert,
catch at the moment we have the toe down match.
The review. The receiver had firm control. His foot inbounds. Therefore, it's a touchdown.
Here we go, folks. Here we go.
So he's covered up. The receiver has to back off at the top. All right, so after the penalty, it's 2nd and 15. Harburg has Barney, and then he does it. Closing quickly was Brian Addison, and he's got it. Kalen Moore took it away. An interception for UCLA.
1st and 10.
These people don't give a shit.
Who's giving them the business? Oh, the band is out on the field. He's going to go into the end zone. He's got it. Goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going running all the way back. It's going to win the football. It's going to be to the goal line. It's going to be gone. It's a touchdown. And the Gators have won the game. To the 40. Herman Whitfield to the 30. To the 20. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown FSU.
All right. Welcome to Football Extravaganza. It's the 2025 college football season. I am here with our good old co-host, Justin Patrick, on air, now working for Fox Radio. And we have a new addition to the college football extravaganza crew. Everyone give a warm welcome to Logan Brown, one of my good friends, Logan Brown. How you guys doing?
We got a little more diversity in the pod now. Adding a new fan, which is going to be great, especially this year. Very, very anticipated good season with that returning lineup. BK needing to prove something this year. I'm excited just to be back once again. I know we have just increased the production year by year. We went from being on phones and iPads 3 years ago to finally being in a room last year, and now we're finally seems to we have our shit together now.
Yeah, and I think adding Logan is going to be good because we do comedy together, and so that's kind of what I wanted to bring. That's kind of what I wanted this whole thing to be, was a college football comedy podcast. Justin, you're the stats guy, and you know with my jokes, but now you actually have someone to look at and go, hey, what much? Because
or we'll gang up on you.
The only thing I say, and Rob crossed this line last year, is just the 75 plane crash. That's off limits. We don't make jokes on the 75. We don't make jokes on the 75 plane crash from Marshall. That's all I ask. Stay clear of that one. And if not, you're gonna get a heated Marshall fan flipping tables and shit.
Hell yeah! All right. Well, we have 14 people watching live now, so thank you guys for tuning in for the first episode this season. Sorry we had an off season. I know a lot of legitimate college football podcasts don't. And we're working to get there. We will work to get there. But we're fun, and we'll bring the news to you in a great way and highlights from every week this college football season. Starting off, we wanted to some conference realignment stuff because it's in the works again. The Big Ten and the SEC are making moves behind the scenes. So you guys heard about some Sun Belt conference realignment things going on. So we're going to talk about that up top. So what I heard today through watching some college football podcasts was North Carolina, the Tar Heels have a working handshake deal with the SEC to come into the SEC.
They're getting a little cocky, man. That'd be tough.
I think with this one, man, it's going to be interesting just for the fact that, one, in my opinion, UNC, they're a top 10 athletic program. We know baseball, basketball, that's going to be great. But we know in football, they haven't done a lick of work in well over a decade. I think the last time was Mitch Trubisky, really. And, you can argue a few other ones since then, but nothing that was very prominent at even making even the slightest bit of a playoff run since then. So, yeah, I think with that, that could be great. We know Bill Belichick's definitely involved in that, but outside that, I don't see it being great on the football side of things.
I was thinking the same thing. I think it's more of a basketball move, right, for that market?
Basketball and baseball.
Yeah, basketball. They're very good at baseball, too. Yeah, that's right. But, I think North Carolina, they would thrive in the SEC as a football school. They're not going to be like – I don't want to talk shit about Vandy because obviously –
They're on the up and up.
Yeah, they're stepping up, too.
For this year.
Yeah, this year. Yeah. Paella. Some people call it pavia. I think it's paella. We're going to go with paella.
Like the dish?
Because it's delicious, yeah. But anyway, yeah, I think just being in the ACC kind of hinders the team a little bit, right?
No, absolutely. It's gonna build something up, but we've seen with Mizzou and your Vandy's and even your Arkansas, who was here before them, if you're not really bringing it, the conference isn't going to do the work for you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're in the SEC. That's great. I'd love to have you. You can be viewed as a bye week for some teams, just to walk out there and kick your ass and let the third strings get some, highlight reel tape going on. But outside that, the conference is not going to lift up your program for you. We know that with Vandy especially, because we know that they have not committed financially to uplifting their football program.
Right. And so North Carolina trying to work out a handshake deal there with the SEC. Virginia, also a team from the ACC, working on a handshake deal with the Big Ten because they align more academically. This is what I've heard throughout looking at some podcasts and listening to some college football podcasts around the nation today. And that makes sense, right? Like, I don't want Virginia in the SEC.
That's gross.
I don't even think ACC people want them in there, right? So
no, not even the slightest bit.
Yeah.
I mean, Virginia, that one's weird to me. Not much else going on there. Yeah, they have a solid athletic program. They're, once again, another basketball, baseball school right there. They've competed in both of those in the past 10 years more than they have football. They're kind of just like UNC. They made an Orange Bowl or Peach Bowl appearance in the past 10 years. And, they just squeaked in. But outside that, they were never making a really big, serious playoff run on the football side. Now, we all know that everything's looking different. I mean, because last year, who were the teams that were out? Ole Miss, Bama, and South Carolina. Mm-hmm. We had SMU, Boise State making it, right? And we had Indiana in there. We know it's different now, and that's why teams want to try and shake things up even more, just knowing, like, hey, like, there's more of a chance if we just get 9-3 on our record, we can argue at least.
Yeah, at least with a strong SEC schedule like that. And South Carolina is one of the teams I'm going to be looking at. I think South Carolina and Florida, to me, they're kind of on the same level.
Right.
In chat, Rico Vinny says my mic isn't working right. You guys hear me good?
I hear you perfectly.
You hear me good? You hear me good?
I lost everything in my head.
You lost everything? Okay. Maybe.
I don't know. I can hear you.
It should be good. My levels are fine, so.
You sound fine in my headset.
Okay, good.
First pod of the year, it's going to be a little ugly. We all know that, and that's why we do it. Not unlike last year when we just hopped right into this. It's the bye week of the season.
Yeah, guys, please let us know if we're talking and you're not hearing us talk, and it might be a music thing. I'll turn this music off and see if that works better. I like having the background music.
I do too. I do too. It's good. Well, we're going to work out the kinks. It's preseason. We're 4 Saturdays away. Yesterday was 5. We are 4 Saturdays away.
That's close.
From college football. Yeah, man. We are under 30 days. Well, we're a little over 30 days. But yeah, we're right there.
So with the Sun Belt, what's going on with the Sun Belt realignment?
Yeah, you go ahead.
I was staying up to date with it, and then they kept going back and forth.
A little bit closer.
A little closer.
Yeah.
I breathe.
Give it COVID.
Wasn't it? Did Louisiana Tech?
Correct.
Did they?
They signed.
Okay.
I wasn't happy about that.
Really?
So as the guy who covers the Sun Belt pretty religiously as a Marshall fan, I wasn't happy about that. They bring no value to the conference. If this was 10 years ago, yes.
Okay, as a Louisiana guy, I can say that
Tech has some history.
Yeah, but
I mean their football is kind of weak right now. Last decade, it's been kind of rough.
History doesn't mean anything for conference realignment, right? Because it's going to be different in 8 years from now.
Yeah,
that's how it is. So history means nothing anymore when it comes to these situations, unless it's big like the SEC. I wasn't a fan of it. You had Liberty there in the Conference USA, who they were competitive in baseball last year. They went to the tournament in basketball, and they were right on the brink of, right there at Boise State of being the best Group of 5 football team for the past few years. So I was liking Liberty a little bit more. I know Ohio University is also in talks with the Sun Belt, which is cool for a Marshall perspective because that was our rival. We had a rivalry game between those guys. I'm not saying it's a great matchup. I'm not saying they're going to bring any value to the Sun Belt. I think those are just 2 additions that you would be uplifting them more than it would be good for the conference, which I think with how good the Sun Belt can be, adding Jadison recently and Southern Miss, if we had added Liberty, you were competing through and through, especially with baseball. Like baseball is so good right now in the Sun Belt. We know that with Southern Miss and Coastal Carolina, those 2 are so good. And then, they're uplifting the other programs around. A basketball can be better, especially if you had added Liberty, it would have been a whole different situation.
Liberty feels like they were already in the Sun Belt, just off of vibes, you know what I mean? So as a Sun Belt guy, you're looking you want teams added you want the Sun Belt to be lifted up as a whole. Like I've always wondered, like college football wise, I'm a fan of like a big team, but when it comes to like I'm a New Orleans Pelicans fan, so obviously it's like winning the finals is kind of out of the question for us almost every year.
Yeah.
As a Marshall fan,
what do you hope for? Like, what is your dream this year for the team? Like, y'all aren't going to go win.
Not this year. Last year was way different, of course, because we were, let's say if we had been playing with the core we played with the entire year, like I don't want to get too deep on a Marshall tangent right now. If we were playing with the right quarterback that we had played with our last 8 games, we would have only had 1 loss, and that would have been to Ohio State.
Right.
And, you know, that would have changed the whole difference because we would have been probably in over Boise State. It would have been up in the air. We know that last week of the year. And so it's a whole different situation.
You have a good season, you win the Sun Belt, you're in the playoffs.
Yeah, because the Big West is viewed as a much stronger conference because of what Boise brings and what UNLV brings. So you want your conference to be up there in the rankings. Like you want like they're going to be above the American. But you know how the MAC per se is viewed, right? Oh, it's MACtion. It's good old Wednesday night football. Gives me something to throw a bet in or on something. You know, that's what you don't if you are serious about your conference, which the Sun Belt can be very good. It's from where it was 20 years ago. It was on the same level as the MAC, and I feel like it's just gotten better and better and better. I hate the whole Louisiana Tech addition. I think it's just honestly really piss poor. I think the baseball team can be okay, but outside that,
they're in Shreveport, right? They're in Shreveport. That's the capital.
City?
Is that the capital?
Oh no, Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge is the capital. Okay, so Shreveport's pretty big, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poorest town, unfortunately. Ugly wise, yeah.
Terrible town. I heard it was one of the worst towns in Louisiana, if not the country. People smell down there very bad. Smell very bad in Shreveport.
It's either Louisiana. It's going to be Shreveport or Bossier City, which both are.
You say Booger City?
Booger City is. I mean, they're not pretty. They have a bunch of casinos, and I know there's a Margaritaville in Shreveport too. But outside that,
most populated places in Louisiana are not very pretty.
T-Puh says Coastal sucks at baseball. I ran that across the.
That's
Trevor.
Pugh.
Yeah,
we all know he's an LSU guy. We all know
Tigers,
that.
but
yeah. Casey Riley.
That's Casey Rayleigh. Yeah.
Rayleigh says Ty Simpson for Heisman. I don't know. Ty might. He's got a 5-star freshman that's nipping at his heels.
Which we're going to talk about that later, of course. You know, we don't want to be too deep on conference realignment. We're going to talk about a few other things, but then we're going to dive into first-year starting quarterbacks in college football, especially for the bigger program. So your Ty Simpsons, your Arch Mannings, we're definitely going to dive in those here in a little bit.
Can you guys let us know if you can hear us okay, too? Because I just switched a couple things around on the audio. But anyway, so we just touched on conference realignment there. I mean, obviously this is getting down to the 2 big conferences. I don't want to waste too much time on this because we're just going to see how it plays out. I mean, Clemson's got to go. The ACC is probably going to become extinct at some point because FSU's wanting to go somewhere. Clemson's probably going to want to go somewhere.
Where's FSU going to go? They're going to try to join the SEC?
I think that would be the move everyone wants, but I think they would go to the Big Ten. I just they would do it because FSU just hates the SEC so fucking much.
I kind of like FSU. Like, that's where my mom went to school. She's an FSU fan. So there's a little bit of love there. But at the same time, FSU is a cowardly school.
You can't like FSU wearing that jersey, man. You just really can't.
Not after they beat y'all 2 years in a row to start the season.
Can't, man. You really can't.
Dude, our athletic director has got to stop scheduling these, like, top 3, top 10 first game.
Well, that's the thing, right? And so we could talk about this a little bit. And that was, Kurt Cignetti of Indiana taking the whole, because speaking of Virginia, they canceled Virginia on their non-conference games. I think it was next year, right? So now in the next 4 years, they don't have any Power 4 teams on their conference schedule, right? And he said, we're taking the SEC philosophy, which I'm just like, okay, I mean, you can't really talk. I don't think the SEC could talk, but there's definitely teams in both conferences that can. I mean, as a guy who follows Ohio State, Texas this year, right? That's, of course, a big one. 2 years ago, they had a home with Notre Dame, and then Georgia, per se. Clemson really is just like LSU. They could talk as much as they want. They've played Georgia back-to-back years. Now they're playing LSU.
Mm-hmm.
They could talk a little bit, but we also know about schools like let's say we can go Oregon right now, right? They're going to start off with 4 non-conferences versus your FCS schools of Montana State.
I'll give it to Oregon. They did go back-to-back with Georgia 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
It was like Georgia and Auburn.
It's very situational. Like you can dog on someone for 3 years and then they'll have an LSU situation, right? But no one now, if you're an LSU fan, you're probably tired of it, but it does give you more respect. And if you lose the game with dignity, you're not going to be punished for it too hard. Yeah. But especially nowadays with the 12 team, it's not as bad because that loss, you don't almost have to be perfect the rest of the year. With the 12, you can have 2 more in the conference and you can still have a fighting argument to be there. But outside that, I respect it. And for some reason, like we're going to talk about also our most exciting, impactful games of the upcoming year later on. But yeah, I mean, when you talked about that mentality, like you want some toughness on those non-conference games, but now with the 12 team, it's almost like, do you need it?
Yep. All right. One more thing we want to touch on before we get into some of these quarterbacks who are starting for the first time this season as a full-time starter is Deion Sanders is scheduling some sort of a medical press conference.
Him and his medical team.
Yeah, so we're going to share this quick and pull this up on the screen. Add to the scene.
So he's meeting with his medical team, or he's meeting with the press?
The medical team and Deion are both going to be on a press conference tomorrow, which is very similar to, what was it, 2009, 2010 Urban Meyer vibes?
Yeah, as Gator fans, we are already in the know of what's happening.
Yeah.
He's taking some time off.
There would be no reason, if it was good news, that you would have an emergency press conference forced that year. Usually it would be like, hey, here's a post of like, hey, I'm doing really good right now, great spirits, doctors say this. No, this is going to be, we need to announce something that's going to be bad and probably drastic to the team. And honestly, let's say that's the case, right? Let's say he's pulling an Urban Meyer. He's out of Boulder come tomorrow afternoon. What happens?
Yeah.
Like, who's the coach? What happens to all these 5 stars, 4 stars that he has that he was trying to make sure the program was going to be great after his offspring was leaving? What happens now? Like, what is the case? I mean, even my girlfriend, who is not a huge lover of sports, she's like, but what do they do after that? I'm like, I have no idea. I have zero idea what you would do. Maybe a coordinator would be your interim, but you have no actual successful chance of doing anything worth a shit.
Yeah. So this article is from NBC Sports, Pro Football Talk. Part of the article says Sanders' involvement in spring and summer camps was limited by an unspecified health issue. He participated in Big 12 Media Days earlier this month. Sanders says, I'm already back. I'm here today. I'm handling my responsibility, so I look forward to it. I can't wait. You've got to understand some of the young players I haven't even met yet. I'm so excited about that. So that was back on July 9th. On July 20th, he said in a video posted by his son, I'm still going through something. I ain't all the way recovered. So whatever he's going through, we'll see. Here's a video. We'll play that, see what it says.
Said yesterday at the Big 12 Media Days that college football needs to have a salary cap. And hey, if you want
So that's talking about salary cap. We're not going to get into that, but
no, that's not the conversation for this one.
No, that's fine. That's one of my things I hate is like a news article or like a sports article, and then the video is like not even related. It's like just 30-second clip up top about whatever your article's about, please. Just do that.
Are you even surprised to hear the situation might be like the potential outcome, though? Just like we can take the exact same mindset from Urban. Like, what was his love and passion? And like, he was so all in for was Tebow. And he didn't really give much love after that to the future of the program after that. And as soon as Tebow left, he came up with the whole, oh, I'm having heart issues, I got to go. And then was, in Columbus 2 years after that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can't say we're surprised with, he coached them in Texas in high school, and then he went to Jackson State and coached them there. Then he got a job at Colorado, and they came right on over, retired some numbers, and then, his son gets picked in the 5th round, and now it's like he's got medical problems. I mean, it would be kind of dishonorable, though.
Well, he is missing a big toe, right?
Yeah,
he's missing that big toe.
He can barely walk. He's on a scooter most of the time.
What if he does like a whole press conference It's just like they got to take my other big toe.
But it's
they got to take my foot.
I think he was looking for a reason to get out. Definitely. I mean, he's not. I think there was something fishy going on because I remember there was a clip where his center got injured, and they were asking about his backup center, and he didn't know the name. He didn't know the name of his backup center, and then I started looking into him more and the program, and there's just a lot of fun stories like that. Whereas it seems like Dion was really focused on people with the last name Sanders or Hunter, and that was kind of it. And I feel like this was all just a big thing to put his son on a pedestal, try to get him drafted, which he was projected to go first round, pretty undisputed.
Supposed to be top 10.
Pretty undisputed. Almost everyone had him first round, and he fell all the way to 5. I mean, that got to tell you, there's something going on. Those numbers are being inflated.
It was a funny Mel Kiper crash out, though. Yeah. I do enjoy watching Mel Kiper just be absolutely shit on by the rest of the league. It was great. I loved it.
I loved that moment as well. All right, so enough about that. Let's get into what you wanted to talk about today. So you got a list. I'm going to go chronologically on that list, and then we'll see where it goes. But first, quarterbacks. What are we going to say? The quarterbacks
first year starting quarterbacks.
Yeah,
they're not, because they're not all freshmen, and some were playing last year. Arch did play last year. He did start a few games last year, but he wasn't the main guy. So you're the face of the program this year. Basically, same places, new faces. Here we go. But yeah. So we have, I think, 9 teams in the top 15 of the final college football rankings last year with new first-year starting quarterbacks. Of course, the main one is Arch Manning. Know that. And when it comes to Arch, we'll start it off. Let's get this one out the way. I feel like this is a guy that gets way too much attention, so we're just going to beat on through this real quick. But Arch Manning, we know who he is. We know his family is. We know that he was talked about more than the actual starting quarterback at Texas last year, most of the year. But when it comes to y'all's thoughts, Texas this year, they're the first team pretty much in the preseason poll. What's y'all's thoughts?
Arch will be fine.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be good. I mean,
just see that play. That's the kind of play Tim Tebow would make. He when he's getting under pressure, he just flip it. I watched the 2007 Tennessee-Florida game, and he had a couple of those passes where he was just able to shuffle pass it and get some yards, get a first down or a touchdown like that. He's got that kind of ability.
Arch is very confident. I don't I hate anything that gets as much media hype as Texas and Arch Manning right now, but he has no reason to not be confident in these games that he's played, but he looks really good.
Yeah.
I think here's my take on Arch, and I've said this on my show, on Fox, and pretty much everywhere else, is Arch, we know where he comes from. We know the credibility's there. He's basically the equivalent of, a Kentucky Derby horse, right? It's the exact same type of mentality. Oh, he came from this championship winning horse and this championship winning horse, and that horse's brother was this one, or, that's exactly what the Mannings are right now in college football. But I'll say this. Is the potential great? Yeah, the potential is going to be awesome. He's going to be great one day. Is it going to be this year? Not in my mind. I don't think so. I think this guy was a horrible runner. I think this guy was he had a horrible mindset, and he had a fumble problem. And that's the only thing I'll say about him, is he had a massive fumble problem. I think he had 5 fumbles last year.
But would you look at him go?
He definitely runs better.
It is crazy that he's a Manning and he's that fast.
He runs like Arch Manning.
Archie, yeah.
Yeah.
Archie Manning.
Yeah.
Which Archie, he ran for his life for the Saints. So
there's he got good at it.
Yeah, he ran for his life.
He's got a genetic memory of fear of defenses.
The other two, though, that wasn't their mentality.
No.
Now, is Texas going to be good this year? Yes. Am I saying they're going to be phenomenal? No. I mean, they're going to probably make playoffs. But here's the thing. Arch has to go to Athens. He's got to go Columbus, and he's got to go to Gainesville, which are 3 of the arguably top 10 toughest places to play in college football. And he's got to do that as a first-year starter.
Yeah.
The schedule is not easy for him. Is he going to handle it? Probably. Is he going to play his best? Who knows? I mean, clearly this guy, if he's up for questions anywhere in the media, if there's any sort of media availability, there will be 50 to 100 reporters around him in a 30-foot radius. That's just who he is now.
I think he's not just him though. Yeah, good.
No, I do have an Arch story. This is an exclusive to this podcast. Sorry if you hear this, Arch, but my little brother went to an offensive lineman camp. He plays at a D2 school now, but he went to a camp with all of Arch's offensive linemen at his high school. I forget the name, but they were talking mad shit about Arch. Like his offensive lineman, it was probably like a spite thing. Like, oh, Arch is like so famous and rich and stuff, but his offensive lineman did not have nice things to say about him. I just thought I always think that's so funny. Anytime I see him anywhere, like just that his high school offensive linemen were like, yeah, fuck that guy. Like,
yeah,
it is telling.
That is telling because I mean that's your guys, man.
Which it's usually not like that with the O-line. Like they're usually like dying for the QB. But again, I think that's probably he's a fucking Manning. They have to live with him and grow up with him.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know him personally. I mean, kind of like, R. Kelly. I like his music. You know what I'm saying? Not so much as off the field antics.
No. And here's the thing about Arch is he can do exactly what he does right there. Is throwing a deep ball down the field and it looks phenomenal off the hand. But for some reason, I feel like when he has a big play that he needs to succeed on, he doesn't come through. Like his design runs that they put him in there for, he was fumbling, making problems. And that's just not a good look. You can't have that. It's not good whenever, Quinn played 2 to 3 times as many snaps as you and you fumbled almost as much as him. That's a problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so my thing is Texas around him, they're not that young. He's got he's got one junior wide receiver, a junior running back in Wisner. He's got an offensive line comprised mostly of juniors and one senior at center with Cole Hudson. So the people around him are pretty experienced. And I think they'll put the game on their back if he's having an issue. And same with defense. Their defense, bunch of juniors and seniors. They got one freshman, Murad Watson, at D tackle. But thank God for these Lindy's Sports and Athlon Sports magazines, dude. These I'm gonna have to go through these, but I think the team around him is gonna be good. Like Texas's D line is gonna be really good this year. So I don't know. Texas as a whole, if he can just manage him and not fumble like you're saying, not like have one of those big moments, go to the other team, I think he'll be fine this year.
I don't think college football works like that anymore, though, dude. I think there's so much more parity that you can't just like manage the game. Like it seems like every team last year had moments where someone had to rise up and like overcome something. And like I feel like they're gonna stack up losses if he can't perform in big moments. Like every team has close games now. Like there's no more. You don't just walk through a season anymore. All these. Sorry, I got caught up in the play.
Yeah, dude, he's got some high. No, this is just from last year.
Yeah, I mean it's there. Like we know it's there. It's no doubt about it. But I'm not going to sit there and say Texas is winning the national championship. I can name probably 3 teams who I'd rather say are going to have a better shot at winning the national championship, and you can arguably say the next guy, and that's Julian Sayin out of Ohio State. Look,
that's good.
Ohio State, they lost a lot last year. You lost Quinshon Judkins. You lost Travion Henderson. You lost a lot of captains in your front 7, and especially in Jack Sawyer. But knowing Ohio State and knowing what they do, they just reload. And they're also bringing back the top 2 returning players in college football in Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Smith. And they're also just keep adding on to their wide receiver room. But Julian Sayin, he's a young guy, and as you can see, we only have high school football highlights for this guy, which tells you everything. The guy hasn't really played a down in college football, and his first one is going to be the biggest game of the week, arguably, other than LSU Clemson, maybe, on that first week of the year, against Texas and our previously mentioned Arch at home against Texas. And that's going to be a real tester game. If he loses that game, that's not going to be surprising at all. But going to still have to go play Penn State. He's still going to have to go play Michigan. Can he beat Michigan? That's the big question right there. Yeah, that Ohio State still has a lot of work to do.
Looks like he's got some wheels on him. That was a pretty good scramble.
He can run. He's got a good arm. He's only 19. He's going to have a lot of immature moments. And we know a lot about 19-year-old quarterbacks. Florida with DJ Lagway last year, right?
Right.
Like he got a lot of starting time. 7 games he started, 6 he finished, and all 6 that he finished, he won. And that's why we have no reason not to be super excited about this upcoming team this year for Florida. And for a first-year starting QB, like it's going to be his year. Yeah, DJ should be great. For Julian, though, I have no idea. I genuinely have no idea what to expect.
Yeah, and we'll have to see. I mean, a highly touted recruit hits an open guy there, but this is high school, like you said. You step up a level. When you open up against a team like Texas, that's a crazy introduction to college football. This ain't, South Northwest, not Northwestern, but Northwest School of the Blind anymore. You're not open up against nobodies. It's modern day mini pro football pretty much. It's right before the pro. Dude, he's getting paid. I wonder how much he's getting paid, honestly. I'm very curious.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, if he plays, he plays. If he does well, he does well. I mean, yeah. I mean, as a guy who follows Ohio State, yeah, Julian Sain, I'm excited to see what he does. It's unfortunate his first game is going to be against Texas in front of 105,000 in the Horseshoe. Even if those are your fans that are the 105,000, it's still going to make you probably shit a brick and just be like, holy crap, where the hell am I right now?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a whole different vibe than what you're seeing he's typically used to. And for Will Howard, I mean, Will Howard was the perfect guy, right? Like he played in and out of everywhere. He played on the road everywhere, played at K-State. And, he was fine with all those atmospheres and the situations he got put into. He was a vet technically. With Julian, it's just this kid, doesn't have any hair on his chest. It's going to be rough.
Yeah. All right. Our next quarterback for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Which he's getting a pretty easy game for his first one. It's some team out of West Virginia that I forget their name, man. Their colors are green and white. But he did play his first game last year, and we saw the guy have a great arm. He has a laser for an arm. We also saw him get laid on his fucking ass.
Yeah, he took a lot of hits in that Texas game. A lot of hits. Carson Beck drops out of the game. Gunnar Stockton puts the team on his back almost. And, it was a great game. It was a great game, but at the end of the day, it seemed like the offense, not really a high-powered offense, so he's not going to be asked to do a whole lot other than hand the ball off, pound the rock, play Georgia football. That's kind of what I'm thinking too.
So, yeah, like it's another like white guy that can throw it fine, and he'll be fine. Like,
just another honky throwing the ball.
It's Georgia, dude. Like I feel like you could change replace any of their last 3 quarterbacks with any of the other ones, and it wouldn't make a difference.
Run the ball.
And here's what I've said about Gunnar and also Ty Simpson. If you are a Bama or Georgia fan, and either of those guys delivers B-level quarterback play, you're happy. Yeah. You should be happy. I mean, for Ohio State fans, Will Howard did exactly that, and that got you a national championship. I don't see a reason that should be any different for Georgia or Alabama. B-level quarterback play should get the job done to at least get you to the Final Four, and that's my mentality on them. Gunner's going to be great. It's not going to be phenomenal play. For Ty Simpson, this one's a little bit different for me. I have to say, Ty Simpson, this is the guy who's waited, and at Bama, you're going to wait. He's also the last quarterback prospect of Nick Saban.
Nice.
Which is kind of crazy to think about.
We have a $5 chat from Ronan. Ronan, thanks. He said, "Stop making sense and drink." So Justin, he's the only one with some beer, so you're gonna have to drink, do a little drink there.
5, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll definitely be drinking a little bit during the season. At least I will, just during the season. But right now, I'll drink this mystery drink in this cup for you.
It's clear like vodka or clear like water. The world will
Yeah,
never
who knows?
know.
But Ronan also celebrate 8 months of membership to the channel on at Real Swampcast. Thanks, Ronan, for all you do, even on the other podcast, on the Swamp Creatures podcast on Tuesdays. He says Longhorns for the win.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. But also, jumping into Ty Simpson, I wanted to dive into this guy. Nick Saban's last quarterback prospect. Really, he just wants to be at Bama.
You going Ty Simpson right now?
Let's go Ty Simpson.
You skipped Dante Moore, I think.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll get to him. We're talking about Georgia, Alabama. We'll get to Dante because he's a little bit different because he has some proven playing experience from UCLA. But Ty Simpson, once again, He's a guy who's waited. He got there, played behind Jalen. Nick Saban leaves. He's like, I'm still staying at Bama. And then you saw basically he's not Kalen's guy. And it's like, I'm still staying at Bama. And then Kalen finally gives him the nod. Like, you're going to be the guy this year. As long as you do what we're seeing on the screen right now, which he can run. I saw him at the Manning Passing Academy. He can spin the ball really well. I know Bama fans are really big on him because he's sat there and waited his turn, as most should do in Alabama culture. He didn't get wrapped up in the toxic world of transfer portal or NIL. It's been, no, I'm Tuscaloosa, I'm T-Town, I'm staying here. And Ty Simpson, it's his year to be the next Jake Coker or A.J. McCarron or Greg McElroy, whatever you want to call it. As long as he delivers B-level quarterback play, Bama should be able to make it to the Final Four at the very minimum.
Yeah, I like Ty Simpson. I don't think he did a bad job last year, but like you said, he's not Kalen's guy. And just touching on this topic, Keelan Russell, quarterback, 6'3", 192 pounds, a freshman out of Duncanville, Texas. This guy is a 5-star prospect.
5-star plus. Highest ever prospect signing in Alabama history. Shout out Casey. I only know that knowledge because of him. But literally, this guy's a stud. And so that's the thing about Ty. Yeah, you are the guy this year, but your leash is very short. And if you can't get your shit together, there's 2 other guys, and Kalani, and then also Mack, who is Kalen's original guy that he recruited to Washington, got him to come over to Alabama with him.
Yeah.
There's 2 other guys behind them that are going to be like, if you don't have your shit together, we have the guys that will.
Casey says Thomas Castellanos is a dead man. So there you go. Some shit talk in the chat already. Joey, FSU Joey, where you at? You got to stand up for your Seminoles. They're Alabama fans already talking shit on y'all.
Reasonably.
Reasonably,
right? I mean,
yeah.
FSU's going to come out and hit him in the mouth. I believe it. They got the new field. They got the new field.
Yeah,
New
they lost 12,000 seats, and now they're going to be better? What?
No, it's the Garnet. It's the Garnet Field, man.
It'll be
The
fun.
Garnet Field is going to change everything. Have you seen the new field?
What?
They got a Garnet Field like Boise does the blue.
What?
No, it's all Garnet.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they're going to
No.
fuck them up now.
No.
I think
It's changing everything.
That's AI.
It's going to turn it all
AI
around.
That's AI.
Look it up.
Whataburger got you.
That's going to look nice.
No, I don't think that's a real thing.
It's not
I
a thing.
swear, dude.
It's not a real thing.
Swear.
I swear it's not a real thing.
I'll look it up, but I don't think it's real because one, it's Florida, and it would be 10 times hotter
Dude, I'm
on
telling
turf
you,
than
I
it would
looked
be.
it up.
The term FSU Garnet Field does not appear to recognize. Let me see.
New FSU field.
I would have heard about that.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
have heard about that. I think you got it wrong.
Dude, this is the first AI dupe in my life. Don't tell me.
He got NBA Centelled.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
He got NBA Centelled. What? Like, show me your
Do you have
source.
any guns in here?
No.
I need you to shoot me. Dude, I got AI duped.
We'll tell you about the guns in the house. Yeah, no, it's still grass.
Oh,
it's still gonna
dude.
be grass.
It's gonna be grass, and
Wow.
it's gonna be grass, and it's still gonna be a place that they get their ass kicked, and it's gonna be empty by halftime, and that's all I need to say. It's gonna be DeAndre Francois 2.0 to then put out Week 1 versus Bama like that happened back in 2014, 2016, and yeah, it's gonna be great, especially because he's not 1, not 2, but he's done it 3 times that he has said, no, mark my word. Like, I mean what I said.
This is the best team.
We stand on this. We stand on, like, we're going to beat Bama.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I think I like Thomas Castellanos. I liked him at Boston College, and I even told my FSU buddies, I was like, Boston College will beat you guys this year, because Thomas almost beat them the year they went undefeated in the regular season. You know,
They should have.
they should have won.
That game just pisses me off because of so many reasons that game should have went to overtime, and I will never not
Sorry,
say
what
it.
game I zoned out? I was thinking
FSU,
about
Boston College
2
years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah, that game should have went to overtime for so many reasons, and yeah, no, that game was a prime example of how FSU in 2023 was a fake ass team. No difference, no tell all needed. That game was the prime example of why that team was not real.
If Seminoles win, Osceola Jr. will be LP nominee in 2028. We got a cross section of libertarians and college football fans in here. This channel is very niche. Only freedom-loving college football fans in this podcast. That's our market. That's what we shoot
Probably
for.
a big crossover.
Justin mad because he secretly likes Bama's cousin love policy. What? Justin mad because he secretly likes Bama's cousin love policy. Cousin love policy. Okay.
Good.
Yeah, there's a hyphen there you need on cousin love.
Yeah, we need to keep that.
As a lawyer, I think you need a hyphen on cousin love. All right. Dante Moore. I mean, UCLA kind of like a sleeping giant in the Big Ten right now for me.
They were, and now he's at
Oregon?
Oregon.
Yeah, he's at Oregon, right? Okay. We got the highlights from UCLA. So Oregon, that's even worse. Not even a sleeping giant. They're just in the fucking mix of things. Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting, especially. And so here's where the big game for Oregon is. When you look at Oregon's schedule, they have just some nobodies to start out the year, and their big one is going to be probably the toughest place to play in all of college football. They got to play, I think it's week 5, and that is Happy Valley.
Yeah.
They're going to be playing Happy Valley. They're going to be playing in the whiteout game. They go Montana State, Oklahoma State, Northwestern, Oregon State, and then Penn State. And that Penn State game, for the first time in a long time, Penn State is actually using the whiteout for a team that's going to be big.
It's not for Minnesota this year?
Exactly, right? I think we would freak out about that, right? Because we said it all the time. That's the toughest place to play. And they were trying to protect it like it was like a homecoming tradition for them, where it's like, no. You should use it to your advantage against the hardest opponent that comes to your home stadium that entire season, and I think they are, because, I mean, the only other teams that come to their stadium that's going to be a little bit tough is Iowa and Washington. They have to go on the road to Ohio State.
No, Oregon's a good team.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I'm talking about Penn State. But yeah, Penn State. They're finally using this game for something that's worth talking about. And so Iowa, and they got to go on the road for Ohio State and Michigan State. They'll have Indiana at home, which who knows what Indiana will look like this year, right? But we're finally starting to see like this team use the whiteout to its advantage. But the thing is, Dante Moore. We're talking about Dante Moore. That's right.
Does this one really just have only Southeastern stuff? Can you hand me Athlon? God damn it, Lindy's. You only do the SEC on this one? And yeah, I did get the wrong Lindy.
Lindy has a good one. I got the good Lindy.
Well, I like I do like Lindy's, but I got it because of Lagway. Lagway's on this one.
I gotta say though, Dante Moore, like this pickup didn't make much sense for me because he didn't pop off the page a lot last year when it came to college football. Like, he wasn't anything too special. Like, it's not anything that's going to be great. But who knows? Maybe this is something that'll be really big for them. Like, he was okay last year for Oregon, but we'll see what happens when it comes to and show what he did at UCLA.
I mean, Dan Lanning is the fucking guy, dude. I love Dan Lanning. I think he's got some shit going on in Oregon. He had a chance to leave, and who was offering him last year? FSU. Yeah.
No, sorry.
Someone was.
It was Bama. Yeah, it was Bama.
Yeah, Bama. And he stayed at Oregon, man. Like, this guy, he's like, we're building something here. So you go Montana State, like you said, Oklahoma State, which that's at home. Okay, so that's not. I was going to say, that's kind of like you better watch out if you're going to Stillwater early in the season. At Penn State, Indiana, not a easy one, but at least they have that at home. Wisconsin's at home. Iowa, so they got to wave to the hospital. That's not that hard. At USC, and then finish off at Washington. If they get past Penn State, man, Oregon's up there in playoff talk already for me.
By a mile. Their schedule's pretty cake when you think about it. Not too much going on. They didn't put Ohio State on the schedule this year, but Penn State right now is like, you're not even a dark horse, but for some reason they're the favorite to win the Big Ten, which in some people's mind is the favorite to win the whole thing.
No. Can we just say this again? James Franklin will fuck up.
No, it's not even fucking up, man. It's normal. Like, there's nothing new to it. He hasn't won a big game since 2016 against Ohio State. Yeah, that's the only one.
That's it.
That's the only one.
But that's what I'm saying. They're not gonna win the Big Ten.
It's because they signed Jim Knowles, who was defensive coordinator last year who built what was maybe the best ever,
So they're stealing signals. They're doing what Michigan's did. They're going to steal the plays.
So you're saying we're back. We're back.
Yeah. So they might win.
But that's why it's because of that. They also have what is considered a top 5 returning quarterback in Drew Aller, who is not good at all. I don't know where the hype comes from. They have a good run game, apparently. They have a good defense, apparently. But at the end of the day, James Franklin's the fucking coach.
Yeah.
And he's been spotted 10 points against Ohio State at home and still loses this game. I don't care who you are. He's been up 14-0 with Saquon Barkley and still lost to JT Barrett and the Buckeyes. It's who he is. It's not going to – I just do not see it. And, everyone's like, well, they made it to the Final Four this last year. Okay, for somehow, some way, Penn State had the easiest path in the playoffs, and they weren't even a host seed. And they had SMU, Boise State, and then Notre Dame. And give the 2 teams that never win the big game a Final Four in Penn State and Notre Dame. One of them's going to win and make it. And then what happened? They just got the shit kicked out of them in the national championship.
Yep. Dugan celebrates 8 months of membership. Thank you guys. He says, pour one out for the missing extravaganza host, be it the other Joey. So Joey Clark, who he's just
not here.
FSU football.
Why would you show your face after 2-10? I mean,
right.
I get it, man.
Yeah.
He stopped showing his face after starting 0-2.
Right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
He didn't want to come back again.
He'll be around every now and then. Davis has a baby, so Davis will be doing whatever Davis wants to do. He wants to come back, but we got Logan. We got the.
Yeah, am I not good enough for you?
Yeah.
No, we're not trying to replace you. It's only your first day.
No, this is you're gonna be way better than Joey.
I'll say the Garnett Field thing was a little rough. Sorry, I'll give that one to you.
I'm not gonna lie. I've never been more embarrassed on a podcast in my life.
Luckily, there's only 13 people watching.
I don't.
Or at least we started with 13.
Please don't think I'm.
It might be 4 now.
An AI.
No, we got 19. It says 19. Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah. So thanks, Joey.
This is great, man. I'm getting sports cucked right now. You are a depth of knowledge. It's a well of knowledge.
No, but that's what this is. He's sports.
It's great to hear it because I love broadcasting in general, but I love sports broadcasting, and you are like a wizard right now. It's beautiful to hear. I'm trying to keep up, and I'm like, dude, this is
those Zens are talking to him right now.
Oh, man.
Davis is just good for picks. Always bet against Davis. That was true.
That
was true.
Amen to that. That
was
bad. Davis, and you're getting a win that week.
Except for Bowles.
Except for Bowles,
he came back on the Bowles.
Even when Davis we were co-hosts at ESPN. The guy knew how to pick bowl games. I don't know why, but he knew how to pick some bowl games.
Interesting. It's like my granddad, dude. My granddad, every time we would do the bowl pool on ESPN or whatever, the Capital Bowl Mania, he would win. He's won 2 or 3 years that we've done it, and I don't know. Part of it is because I'm filling it out for him, and then I'll go back and tell him hey, here's who I picked for you. And he'll be like, I'll change that one. Because he'll be like, I don't know. Sometimes Texas Tech will get him. And it's just that, which is a thing that I like about college football, is the traditional, old man logic that you can use. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You never know if you're going to beat Miami until the fourth quarter's over, because Miami's one of those teams that come back on you.
Them crooks, man. They'll come back.
Exactly. And that's just
they let them off leave for that one day and Saturday, and they gotta go back. They gotta go back to the penitentiary after that.
But that's what's good about college football, because you could just use that kind of logic and still be right about the thing.
My favorite is the old men that it every play they're like, no, they need to run it, and then they'll finally run it, and they're like, I told you. See,
That's how it happens, man.
I like how the RPOs are being the thing now. It's everywhere. And old people are like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What is this new wizardry that they're doing in these
He's thinking
teams?
about 3 things at the same time. Just fucking run it.
He's handing the ball off, but he's looking down there at the tight end. What's he doing?
It took me 3 years of Madden to understand RPOs. It's a haze.
You got to be. I feel like the only way I understood it was being a sideline reporter for UWF. Yeah. And when they brought in Pee Wee, who was our first ever dual threat, seeing the way he would just in field while also handing the ball off, that's when I finally got to understand it a little more. Yeah. You got to really see it because you just can't watch it the same from a broadcast perspective on TV. You really can't. It's not the same.
When I was a linebacker, it was it's just reading, right? You're reading your keys. Like I had a key on the running back as an outside linebacker sometimes on whenever I was on JV. If I was blitzing and the running back was going out for a swing or something like that, I would have to cover him. You're not going to let the running back cross your face as an outside linebacker. Can't let him get outside. So keep contained on him and the quarterback. Or in the middle, as a middle linebacker, I'd be kind of doing the same thing depending on if I'm blitzing or not. So reads on the defensive side, obviously, but reads on the quarterback side to me would be a lot harder. Yeah. Because you're having to look in your peripheral if you're getting pressure, and I'm not worried about that on the defensive side of things. So, but I give credit to people who can do the RPO read game, especially with 2 reads. I don't know how you even fucking do that, especially on opposite sides of the field.
I mean, you got 2 guys on the outside, and then, this is almost, natural of just catch ball snap. You have it out here. If you see something you like, you pull it back. He goes out and blocks, and then you hit your guy on a bubble or a slant, whatever it might be.
They got to make it easy for him, I guess, as easy as they can.
I like less mile football, man. We going middle, left, or right. That's all we're doing.
And eating grass.
And eating some fucking grass.
All right. Speaking of grass, one team that has not a garnet field and some grass is Notre Dame, and you wanted to talk about their quarterback commit C.J. Carr.
So the thing about Notre Dame is they're going to be like an Ohio State. Like how you would view the 49ers, they have everything from the greatest linebackers, O-line, receivers, running back in the NFL, and then they have a system quarterback in Brock Purdy. Notre Dame's very similar. They have arguably, and probably he is the outright number 1 favorite in Jeremiah Love returning to the running back spot in the country. They have 2 of the best at their positions on the defensive side of things when it comes to the front 7 for a linebacker and a D lineman. Notre Dame, they're bringing back a lot of great guys on the outside, but it's about C.J. Carr. Can this guy just be a system quarterback? I feel like this team can be very Brian Kelly-esque Notre Dame, which is very C-level, D-level quarterback play, but provides in everything but the wide receiver and quarterback spot. Meaning the running backs are going to be great, the defense is going to be great, the O-line and D-line are going to be great, but they have no great wide receiver, and their quarterback is not going to be something that pops off the page. That's how I view Notre Dame this year. Yeah. Very OG BK type stuff, like 2012 Notre Dame where they got blown out with Manti Te'o and his fake girlfriend.
I think I'm going to agree with you. Double down on the fake girlfriend, too. And one reason I think it's good is because they're going to need an identity this year because their schedule is absolutely insane. Like, here, let me read off the first I'll just read off the whole schedule. They start off at Miami. Then they got Texas A&M at home. They got Purdue not great this year. At Arkansas, which still an SEC school you're going to. Boise State, no slouch. Boise State, never a slouch. NC State, that's not. I would even say that's a game that's on the radar for me. I'm worried about NC State too. Then USC, that's a rivalry game. At Boston College, another rivalry game. I don't think Boston College is going to have a crazy year, but I think their strength and conditioning is up because they took Florida's strength and conditioning coach that came in, and he gave us a plan. All of our guys are fucking jacked now, so I expect the Boston College guys to be absolutely yoked. Navy, at Pitt. I'm not snuffing at Pitt. Same with Syracuse. I'm not snuffing at Syracuse. And then they end at Stanford.
Yeah.
Stanford's the only one that's like, okay.
And I think we get a big answer. And this game really should be a neutral site game. I think week 1 we have some phenomenal games, as always. We'll dive into those here later. But we got Catholics versus convicts once again for the first time since 2017. It's going to be in the stadium. It's going to be 110 degrees probably too. So yeah, it's going to be an absolute scorcher for Notre Dame and CJ Carr. I think we're going to learn a lot about this team. And their schedule is no slouch to start. You got Miami and then A&M. That's just not a good way to start your college football career, man. It's going to be brutal.
Looks like he's pretty mobile. That wasn't a great highlight. He just kind of scrambled and threw it away. But let's see.
Some guys like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good decision if no one's open there. Who are these guys?
I have no clue.
Darren Pritchett. Seems like some Notre Dame reporter. Blue and gold. Yeah, some Catholics. Some good Catholics. Yeah. No, I Notre Dame's not gonna have the year they did last year.
No,
in my mind.
And for Marcus Freeman, it's okay. You can have a down one this go around. I feel like you'd be okay with that one, right? Like, I think last year was a big one for him. And once again, you're going to have some really great returning players, and I'm sure he's going to have a strong defense. He's a very strong defensive-minded guy. We'll see what they can do versus Miami, but I feel like Carson Beck should have the ability to shred that team, and that's speaking a lot for Carson Beck in general. But I feel like he should have a great ability. That secondary is not going to be phenomenal. So
depends on if his girlfriend is still like on the sidelines.
I know she's got a
in the
move job
stands
too. Yeah, so
that's nice.
Yeah,
must be
Was
good
she
for
really
him.
on the sidelines at the.
No, I think there was. I don't know if it's true or not. There were rumors floating around that Carson Beck was angry at Mario Cristobal because Mario Cristobal wouldn't let his girlfriend be on the sidelines for games. Yeah. It's like, bro, she doesn't belong on the sidelines. If that's true, she belongs in the stands. That's where girlfriends are.
We got a little Patrick Mahomes situation cooking up, dude.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean that. I've never seen that from anybody. Like, I don't care who you are, even the best in the NFL, right? Doesn't get that treatment. Why would you? I don't think that was a true situation though. But I do know that for our next guy, who no one knows a lot about except that he's a dual threat athlete, plays baseball. He already has a bachelor's degree at 19 years old. He's an overachiever, and that's Mr. Austin Simmons, the new Ole Miss quarterback. Which this guy, he's a lefty, but he's a stud and he's super athletic.
And he was committed to Florida. The bastard.
Yeah, for what it's worth, my 11-year-old brother, who's an Ole Miss fan, thinks he's going to win the Heisman. So take that into consideration.
So early Heisman.
Yeah, early Heisman pick from the 11-year-old.
I mean, this guy is outrageously good, highly touted. I think he was a 4-star, but
he was a 4-star, which
borderline.
Is he a
5-star.
true freshman?
I know he's 19, so I think he's a redshirt. He's a redshirt. That's right. He was with the team last year, but I mean, I know the guy's a stud. And he's just a pure athlete. At Manny Passing Academy, he threw this about as good as anybody else, man. Like, he was so good through and through. And
I mean, did you see that one?
Yeah,
did you see that dart?
This dude's
look
actually
at the
throwing it like.
Look at the power.
This dude's actually throwing like 30-yard passes. The last recruits, like all the high school tape, is just the same drag route over and over.
Well, let's see how fast this ball comes out of his fucking pot. He steps up. He's scrambling on this one. Yeah, no, that was more of just a artful pass, but I want to see one of these rockets.
No, he's been launched.
That guy can fly.
That guy, yeah, he took off.
Good for him. Add that to the hit reel.
Yeah.
But as we're looking at this, so he's going to have an easy one, probably one of the easier ones out of the quarterbacks that we've already mentioned. Starting off with Georgia State, that's a Sun Belt team that isn't going to be pretty hard. Then it's Kentucky, which, if you're an Ole Miss fan, that gives you nightmares because that's what kept you out of the college football playoff last year was your loss to Kentucky
and Florida.
That one was a prominent loss because they were ranked, but why the hell did you even lose to Kentucky in the first place?
Yeah,
because that's what held them back. It's like they have this unloss to Kentucky, and then the Florida loss is like, okay, that's a ranked team, that's fine, that's cool.
But that was towards the end of the season, right?
Yeah,
Kentucky was earlier,
and we also saw Jackson Dart just can't play in any sort of game that requires any sort of pressure, and that he will absolutely shit his pants because he threw 3 interceptions in 3 minutes. But we do know,
kind of a bummer.
Very exciting.
We do know that Kentucky, Arkansas, and Tulane, I think, even if they start 3-0, I bet you this team has a great chance of losing.
Oh, what a bomb, dude! Did you see that one? That was that was on the. Let me see.
I'm getting too trapped up in these highlights, right?
Dude. No, this is what it's for. Tell me if I'm on the.
I mean, we're watching, yeah.
Yeah, I think that might have been a replay there because he tossed a bomb from the.
They don't have any like spring game highlights.
I mean, we just pulled up his high school highlights. That was the best one.
Some of these teams are choosing to not air their spring games. Like Florida is keeping it off the TV so people don't watch it.
Yeah, LSU. I remember a couple years ago, it used to be like people would even go.
Yeah, as a fan, I'm upset because I wanted to watch our spring game,
Yeah,
and all I have is highlights. But it's like I get it. You're trying to protect the tape. I understand. Yeah, Ole Miss, if they can fill the quarterback need around what they had last year, or if he can just fill the shoes of Jackson Dart, Ole Miss is going to be right there where they were, in my mind.
Lane Kiffin's offense seems pretty like quarterback friendly too. Like
Yeah.
he'll look good. He'll make him look good.
Yeah,
with his athleticism.
And I'll say this: they've lost a great wide receiver last year, right? He was phenomenal, and he's going to be great for the Chargers this upcoming year. And his last name's Harris. I can't remember his first name right now. I don't know why, but losing a guy like that who was 6'2" and could just go up and beat any jump, that sucks to lose. But also Lane, for some reason, has just been an offensive guru.
Yeah.
And just replaced. And I don't see it being a problem this year. I'm not saying they're going to be a playoff team, but for Austin Simmons, he's going to be good. I think out of the guys that we've talked about who are very young, and we know Arch, he's already as advertised in my mind. I think Austin Simmons is probably going to be the best one out of the ones that we've talked about so far.
Yeah, just from watching those highlights, I mean, just judging off the highlights that we've just played, it looked like he had, besides Arch, because Arch is what his was college games, that looked amazing. How the ball came out of his arm, his accuracy, all of it looked good. I think he'll be great in a Lane Kiffin offense. And I can see why he flipped from, because like as a quarterback, would you rather
going to play for Billy
Napier or Lane Kiffin? Right? You know, and that what offense, what playing style fits you better?
I'm getting a lot of texts that people can't see their comments on the YouTube, so I don't know if that's something on your side or not.
No, I can. I pulled up Casey. I have it on good authority. Justin has a future on Nico winning the Heisman.
Oh God,
Nico Imaliava.
Don't even put Nico Amalivia. Yeah, that's what
I'm gonna leave you.
I'm gonna leave you. That's what I call him. Now we all know that. Don't put that bad juju on my name. You know better than that. No,
Charles Huff, Sun Belt Coach of the Year 2026.
That is true. Unfortunately, we do know that. I haven't seen these comments, so now that I'm hearing these, I can't believe
I was actually gonna read them and then pull them. I know. So you guys are a little bit delayed, but I can do it like this. Let's see.
I think the last guy I want to talk about, though, for a first-year quarterback, while you're pulling that up, even if we don't have stuff to watch, John Mateer, that guy, new guy at Oklahoma, Washington State, put Washington State on the map. They were like 8-1 last year to start the year. This kid, yeah, you got his highlights up now. This guy, man, he's so good. He does a lot of scrambling, but his ball is so tight. His spiral is so good. Like,
whoa, dude.
He just tosses his ball so good. I'm just kidding. But, I mean, the guy, he's going to be really good. And this is the guy I've bought all the hype on. I think he's going to just shock the world. And he's only 19.
Can you talk about how tight his balls were again?
His balls are tight, man. He's got really tight balls.
Gay!
I think this
the soundboard's here, Joey. Did you hear the sound of that? Okay.
Right, yeah.
All right, good.
I think this guy's going to be one of the best. He's going to be so good. I'm not saying Oklahoma's going to, win it all or anything, but I say this guy is the reason why Brent Venables gets another year.
Man, he looks like a Washington State quarterback.
He looks like a Mike Leach guy.
He does.
He looks like a Mike Leach.
What I'm getting at. Gardner Minshew, he just needs the mustache and the mullet, dude. And it's Minshew mania in Washington State again. Look at this. Yeah, he's throwing some dots. Okay, he can take off too. Man, Washington State, you got to join a real conference, though.
For real, man. I like their color scheme. I like their mascot. I want to see them in more real football games.
Right.
I hate the whole Pac-12 thing. Honestly, I miss the Pac-12 so much.
The Pac-12, yeah, the Pac-12 was a great conference.
It was a great conference.
And it's just the modern day college football.
Real quick, apparently this just came through Bleacher Report. Dion made a will, not concerning tomorrow, but his health concerns were so serious he had made a will for how scary of a situation
Dion is. I'm gonna say it now. Dion's not coming back, guys.
I don't think he is. There's no way, right? They wouldn't have this press conference.
No, that seems obvious. Now.
Yeah. All right. Anyways,
he made a will. Jeez.
Anybody else y'all want to talk about on first year quarterbacks, or we want to talk about some good games?
What about I don't know much about him, but I keep hearing about Lenore Sellers.
Well, so yeah, he's not a first year, but we do know that he's going to be. He's right now the most talked about guy.
Yeah.
He's going to be. He's going to have a lot of eyes on him. I'll say that one for sure. I'm not going to buy into the hype yet. Yeah. He had a lot of situations last year where he could have been. They were one game out, right? You know, they should have beat LSU last year. That came down to one play. He almost beat Bama in Bryant-Denny Stadium, right? You know, he was 2 plays away from going 10-2, right? You know, that's a crazy situation to think about with South Carolina. And now they get Virginia Tech to start the year, which is a good rivalry, and I like that.
Guys, I'm big on the South Carolina train this year. I'm just going to go ahead and let you know. Okay. Yeah, I like Lenore Sellers a lot. I mean, the dude is super talented, dual threat quarterback. I mean, he's the reason why South Carolina stayed in some of these games. These are high school highlights, but he does have a good highlight tape.
You have his college highlights?
That high school is a nice
This was the
logo.
first one I found, but I mean,
There is.
yeah, he's throwing dots. Let me try to find his college highlights.
Whether it's LSU, Bama, he played big games last year. I mean, he Clemson for the first time in, I don't even know, 15 years it seemed. So it had to be since Spurrier that was the first time they had beat Clemson in a long time, right? I mean, it was kind of crazy to think about, like that he had put South Carolina on such a big pedestal that they were able to do what they did last year, and really, they were right in the argument. I mean, it was them, Bama, and Ole Miss that was in the conversation, but we knew South Carolina wouldn't get the nod because they lost to both of those teams. So
Both of those.
Both of them hoes. Yeah, I mean, Lenore's was fun to watch last year, man. And there's a big reason why he's got all the hype in the world coming into this season.
And that's kind of why I see him and Lagway are kind of
Very similar.
Very similar.
Very similar. Both.
And I saw this video of someone breaking down Lagway's interceptions. You know, he threw 9 interceptions last year. Lagway did, not Sellers. And about 4 or 5 of those, probably not DJ's fault. They were tips. He was either getting sacked, and then like the other ones were like, "Yeah, what are you doing, DJ?" But as a freshman, I would say like, "Hey, you can have some of those because what you do on the other end, the good things you give us, outweighs whatever these bad picks are." But yeah, I mean, just take a look at this. Lenore Sellers is the real deal. South Carolina is the real deal. Just depends on if they can get going early in the season or not, and you know, win those close games that they lost last year.
I mean, when you look at their schedule, it's going to be VTech to start the year, SC State, then Vandy, then Mizzou, then Kentucky. That should be a 5-0 start. It really should be a 5-0 start, and that they should know. There's no reason why they're not. Maybe Vandy bites them, maybe 4-1, right? And then it goes LSU, which that's going to be a tester for LSU, maybe, depending on the year South Carolina's having. It definitely was last year. It definitely caught LSU in the mouth.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't down to an unsportsmanlike conduct call, that game would have been won by SC. And, yeah, you're seeing it right there. And then it goes OU, which you got John Mateer, who's a dark horse, and then Bama, and then Ole Miss. That 4-game stretch for them is where things get super tough. And then you go A&M, Coastal, and then Clemson, which – yeah, the schedule this year compared to last year, it's a lot more difficult. It's definitely not easier. And I don't think by any means like it's going to be a walk as it was last year.
No. And you mentioned bring him up, so I'll bring him up before we move on. And we just touched on him a little bit. DJ Lagway, not his first season starting, but first full season starting. Here's some highlights from his freshman season. I mean, I like DJ. He's obviously mobile, one of the top recruits out of the 2023 or maybe 2022 class. No, it's 2023 class. So he's gonna be in good shape this year, I think, because Florida has a good running back room, and the teams are gonna have to play the run. They're gonna have to be worried about Jaden Ball and Jacoby Jackson. I like Jackson. I like Jackson more. That's just me.
I love Jaden Ball.
I like Jaden Ball. Run the ball. Yeah, I like it.
He's a bowling ball dude.
Yeah,
I played.
They both are. They're massive, dude. Florida is
I played the
massive.
crap out of it with him. Like every game, I would sub out Montrell, and I would play him every single time. And that guy would just run through anybody, man.
Yeah,
he is a definition of bowling ball. And he's got a lot of speed coming back on the outside. And then Florida's defense is once again going to be really good. That front seven is going to be loaded. They have 2 of the best defensive linemen in the conference coming back this year.
And we got Cam Jackson, and then who's our other guy? His name's escaping me right now. You know, I'm talking
about. Top of my head right
now. But yeah, and we got transfer quarterback. We obviously, if you're new to the podcast, I'm a Gator fan. Justin is Gator / Marshall / Ohio State.
Yes.
And Logan knew the podcast LSU guy.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Just can we do an all Cajun podcast one week?
Yeah, that's all I do.
Yeah. So we got Michael Sturnavant from God. Where was he? He's not an Arizona State guy. Where did he transfer from as a wide receiver? Yeah. Jack Pyburn's so Jack Pyburn transferred from Florida to LSU this past year. Jack Pyburn is that guy. He is a workhorse. He's a great defensive lineman.
We didn't put him on third downs. What are you talking about?
No. Jack Pyburn is that guy. I was a big Jack Pyburn guy.
Now,
he's at LSU, and he's going to do good at LSU. That's what I think about Jack. That was Trevor asking about him.
No, there are three guys, and the Weeks brothers and Harold Perkins are going to play over him.
What position does he play?
He's an edge backer.
Yeah. The end.
Yeah, those three are going to be like
the Weeks brothers,
and then Harold. I mean, it's going to be crazy. No, I just don't see that. Like I don't see that. Like,
Harold's strictly edge rushing again too. Like they're not floating him around again.
Jack's one of those guys.
I don't think is going to work. He's so if we're going to talk on that, Harold, which Trevor, we talked about this. He's not big enough to be coming off the edge at 220. He has to be a linebacker who can drop into coverage, and especially for like if you build up any sort of draft stock. No one's buying a 220 edge rusher.
Trevor saying, Justin, he's going to start, period. Harold and Witt are off-ball LBs, which, I was going to say this, Trevor. I think Pyburn has that athleticism. He could be a standing up on the line end. He could even drop back and play buck. He could play one of those star positions. He's got that kind of athleticism. Jack Pyburn can do that. And he did do that whenever he came in for Florida. So it's a good edge rusher.
Hey, we clearly didn't want him on our third downs. If y'all are okay with having him, then so be it.
Nah, yeah. I mean, I wish he would have stayed. I don't think they worked out an NIL deal.
He wanted $400,000.
Right. I think that's what it was.
He wasn't worth it. So, but I'm not dissing the guy, and I know he was one of the bigger talked about players in the NIL transfer. That happened last year. But I do know LSU, their front seven is going to be great. I know Florida is also going to have a great front seven. There's a reason why they didn't buy into like, hey, we need you here.
I mean, but okay, here we go. This just let me show you this clip real quick. I think this is the one. No, that ain't the one. The one in the FSU game where he just shoves the dude off of him. This might be it right here. Yeah, that's it. Look at this. The power.
Sapp.
Tyreek Sapp, Cam Jackson. Yeah, Florida's D-line is going to be outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. But that's fine. We obviously will be covering the Gators throughout the season and FSU and pretty much everybody. Pretty much everybody.
And everybody.
Yeah. But I'm just a Gator guy, so I'm just going to naturally know more about my team, obviously. All right. That's it. That's it for the quarterbacks. And we got a good list. I mean, got a lot to watch out for. Now, speaking of things to watch out for, we've got some great games. We've got some great games coming up this season. I know you're pulling up a list now. I'll pull up this list.
Is it just me, or is this a big year for week one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's pretty similar. Nothing too different. I think 2023, we had a really good week one. I know FSU and LSU was the big headliner. I think Notre Dame, Ohio State was also week one that year. Yeah, we've had week one can typically be pretty good. But I think if we're talking week one, Notre Dame, Miami, Texas at Ohio State, and then LSU, Clemson, Battle of Death Valleys, right? We're starting off hot. And we're going to know a lot about some guys. Luckily, for each of those games that we mentioned, it seems that it's kind of very similar. Like LSU, Clemson, they have returning veteran quarterbacks coming back for both teams. For Miami, Notre Dame, they have first-year quarterbacks. And then for Ohio State and Texas, they also have first-year starting quarterbacks. Arch, of course, got some starts, but it's his first year at the helm, fully. So, yeah, I mean, those three games, they're going to speak a lot on what's going to happen this year. I know a week after that, we have Michigan and Oklahoma. That game is also one of my favorites to look after.
I mean, I'm looking forward to this because they don't play every year. Week one, Alabama at Florida State.
Yeah, no, I don't care how bad FSU was last season. I'm excited, and it's gonna be a game for at least 3 quarters. It's just one of those like matchups where at least 3 quarters, and then Alabama probably gonna like drop 36 in the fourth.
Yeah, they'll probably put it
like.
Yeah,
I feel like it'll be one of those things where just because of the energy, it's gonna be pretty evenly matched. I remember I went to Alabama or USF at Alabama last year, and it's funny because my family, we hate Alabama. My little brother's an Ole Miss fan, but and we were watching. Obviously, we're rooting against them the whole time, very quietly because we're in the stadium. But Alabama did not have that game sealed until like 2 minutes left, and there was a lot of times this year where Alabama, they looked like
they had to put in their starting offensive lineman again, right?
Yeah,
they had him out because they were like suspended or something. Brought him in.
That game was
because they were gonna lose.
I remember with 2 minutes left, Alabama was only up by 4, and USF had the ball on their own 20, and the fresh set of downs. And me and my brother were like, they could do this. And then it quickly, they covered the spread, all that stuff. But they were right on their heels the whole game. And I'm an Alabama hater. I watch all their not all their games religiously, but if it's on, I'm gonna watch it. And they are like. Last year, they were skin of their teeth a couple times against not great teams.
It was a culture shock.
Mm-hmm.
We'll call that. It was a culture shock for fans and honestly just any college football lover because who wasn't the head coach anymore. The culture shock was completely different. You had players doing poses on the fields after touchdowns.
Yeah.
You have coach smiling after a 3-point win. You're losing. You're keeping teams like South Carolina in the game. You're losing the teams like Vanderbilt and Oklahoma, you're losing to Oklahoma by 21. Yeah, no. Culture shock is the definition of what we saw Bama go through last year.
Yeah.
And there's no better way to put it. They had 15 years of the best to ever do it. I can speak highly about this as a Patriots fan. 20 years of just great success, and then that completely changed, right?
Yeah.
It's a culture shock, and fans are going to be pissed about it. Some fans, like Casey, I know that he can take it on the chin and kind of roll with it, but I do know, like, if this season doesn't go well, what does Bama do? They're going to, some things are going to need to change. I doubt it's going to be Kalen, but we do know, like, there's going to need to be a readjustment somewhere.
Yeah. Joey Two Gun says, I just want my boys to show up and give a fuck about this game. Last year's them boys didn't want to play. And yeah, that makes sense. He also says, I'm sure Gus is looking forward to playing the Cousin Lovers.
And that's another big point right there. Gus Malzahn, which thank you, Joey, for that. This guy took a demotion into a conference that was below the conference that he might have, arguably below the conference he was in. We could probably argue Big 12 and ACC right now, not too different in the level of play outside of their top teams, maybe.
Casey said,
I don't even know
whoop
who
that
you're trying
Tiger
not
ass,
to
though.
offend. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not trying. I mean, I don't care who I.
Well,
offend,
no, that's
first
what I'm
off.
saying is I don't even know who would be considered like. Yeah.
Gus took a demotion. He went from a head coach in the Big 12 to an OC in the ACC.
Yeah.
Took a demotion to an arguably worse conference, which is kind of crazy to even think about, right?
Yeah.
Like whenever we saw Chip Kelly come to Ohio State from a head coach at UCLA to then an OC at a better conference, it made a little sense because he's like, I'm tired of head coaching and I could just go be an OC. And then he won national championship, right? That's fine. But yeah, like for Gus, honestly, great get for FSU.
Yeah.
Because we get to see a guy like Castellanos be coached under a guy like Gus Malzahn, who coached everyone knows him as
Cam Newton.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to say. He does have that spread option mindset, and he's going to, add some things to the Seminole offense that are much needed with a dual threat quarterback like that. So it's going to be interesting. I'm not sleeping on FSU at all this year. All they were missing is good quarterback play, honestly. Well, not all they were missing. They were missing quite a lot last year. But it's a new year, and, if they don't give up on the season, people who stuck around probably won't give up. He's got to stop getting all these transfers in and start doing like Billy Napier does, getting mostly high school recruits. Yeah. I like what we've done with the transfer portal and just kind of supplemented positions here and there. You touched on it a little bit, Logan. LSU, Clemson. That's week 1 for you guys.
Battle of Death Valleys, right? And
in a way, I think it's like obviously not the biggest game of the year if we make the playoffs or something.
But the mic, yeah.
Obviously, it's not the biggest game of the year.
Put it
We
down
make
your
the
throat.
playoffs or something. But
Lick it.
like, oh, you don't? You ain't got to tell me twice. But I think it's our biggest game of the year because like we have, especially with Brian Kelly now, there's kind of like an expectation to lose the first big game. You know what I mean? Because that's what we've done. Literally, I think it's like this is our 5th year in a row now. Yeah,
you've done it the past 5 years. Last time
Yeah.
that you guys won was 2019 with Joe, and then you guys came into the national championship year, and then Mike Lee and KJ Costello, 606 yards, SEC record. Put it on y'all, and
we haven't won an opener.
Yeah,
since.
I haven't won an opener.
So I think if we lose this game, obviously the season's not over. But if we win this game, I think it would be such a like, oh, we won. We just played Clemson week 1 and we won. It would be such a sigh of relief and like, holy shit, we can do this.
So honestly, I want to ask you, because I talked to my LSU fans, and like some would agree with me. For some reason, for me personally, I am more confident in this game week 1 that y'all are going to win than I have been the last 2 or 3, but this is arguably the best competition you'll have played in week 1 the past 5 years.
Yeah.
And it's funny how that works because LSU should be really.
I feel the same way.
You know, it's like you're so confident they're going to win this one, even though this is probably the toughest one they've had to open the season with in 5 years. And that's even including 2023 FSU, who was fraud.
Right.
And we relied on LSU to prove that, and they didn't. And, that was the case of the season, right? Is like they beat them back-to-back years. One time in New Orleans, the other time in Orlando, and that was just like that. Those games should have never been lost. And
Well, I don't know. The New Orleans game, the LSU almost come back and won, but
was
they
crazy,
should
right?
not have
No.
even come close to
But
coming back and winning that game.
I had zero faith last year in the USC game. Zero. I put money on USC to win that game, and they did because I was like, this team has a cold problem when it comes to
I thought
starting the
LSU
year.
was going to win that game.
I
thought
in hindsight, I don't think you're wrong, but the zeitgeist of like LSU media at that time was like, all right, we're gonna win against USC.
Yeah.
What's in SSC? What's next? Playoff year? Like all this stuff. It was kind of like, not that people wrote it off, but people expected us to win almost easily. I feel like that's how people were talking before that game.
I did it because I knew it was a new quarterback. You lost a Heisman winner. You had a young running back in Caden Durham who can be the best one in the conference this year, right? And then your wide receivers, you lost Brian Thomas and then Malik Davis. It was a huge change of pace, and we're coming off. So you just lost all your offense, right? And your offense was your only identity in 2023. Your defense was literally the most negative thing about you, and somehow that flipped last year. You had probably, arguably, one of the best defenses for some reason, outside of maybe your secondary, and then your offense stepped up. And now, if you could just get those two to come together this year, which your front seven, my only worries with LSU this year is the secondary and Cade Durham. And I'm not worried about Cade Durham as a player. I'm just worried about him fulfilling his potential. If he fulfills his potential, it's great. But LSU was outside the top 100 in rushing last year, and that's a problem. But Cade was a freshman, so he can fulfill that potential. It's great. But the big problem that's just completely uncertain, y'all secondary. The front seven, you have so many returning players. You have Aaron Anderson. You have the fastest wide receiver room in the country, and then you have the Heisman favorite, the potential #1 overall, and the Nuss Bus coming back to town.
That's what I was gonna say. Personnel-wise, I mean, LSU's fine. I mean, we almost always are. But like, especially on defense, like the personnel's great. You look at like all the players, and it's like, oh, amazing. But then first game of the season, you watch the defense run around like ants. It's like insane. They always like find a way to screw it up. We always have like generational talents on defense every year, and then it's just some random, like that's what they did last year, like trying to run Harold Perkins in the star position. It like he never played anything like that in his life, and they always try to mix something up and be creative. And
Trevor's saying, I think it's less about Durham and more about run blocking.
It might be, but that also might
Typically
be a
with
problem
running.
too, because you just lost the best O-lineman in the country in Will Campbell.
Right.
Which that's another hole right there that can be filled. But I don't worry about that because, and I'm not someone that is always going to be a big supporter of Brian Kelly.
You are trying to fill holes, though.
But the thing about Brian Kelly is at Notre Dame, he was the best at building O-linemen. It seemed like he always had a.
He's good at filling holes, too.
first
Did you
round
see
O-line.
that, him dancing on that recruit 3 years ago?
Yes, that was funny.
Anyways,
No,
yes.
he can build a team.
Yeah.
I don't worry about O-linemen when it comes to Brian Kelly. I think that's his specialty almost.
Right.
But as you say, like I think it's about Cade Durham though, because yes, that team honestly didn't have a great O-line. We know that Florida sacked us 7 times last year, right?
Yeah.
That's a big problem, right? But we know that they can be a much better O-line. They showed it. They had a great year last year at some point, but a lot of times they didn't. It was very flashy.
So we kind of got to go on record a little bit to put some stakes in the game, and you can reserve your right to pick who's going to win. Change your mind. But who do you think is going to win this game, LSU or Clemson?
LSU. I think this is. I haven't been this supportive of LSU week 1 in probably 2 years. I think 2-3 years. I know for sure I was wanting y'all to beat FSU, but. Yeah, I for some reason I'm very confident in this team, and that's just because of your personnel returning. And I don't, outside of Cade, nothing about Clemson is like, wow, that's going to be so good.
Yeah. And he's got to get that season opener, weight off of his shoulders. He's got to win the season opener. Yeah. He's got to. Brian Kelly has got to get rid of that. I'm with you. I think LSU is going to win, but. I will reserve my right after I look at Clemson a little bit closer and see if Cade Klubnik's gonna be the guy.
I don't care for Cade. I haven't.
Not a big fan either, but it is what it is. You are playing at Clemson though, so that's a tough place to play.
Death Valley Junior.
Yeah, I would say so. I think LSU's probably the real Death Valley. Obviously, haven't been to Clemson though.
I mean, I think it comes down to the two things I talked about. Secondary has to step up. And then Cade Durham, he just has to fulfill his potential. It's not a knock on Cade. I mean, the kid's a freak of an athlete. He is so fun to watch whenever he can find his hole or system.
He went nuts in the beginning of this.
He went crazy versus USC, man. We were loving it, right? Mm-hmm. But, he really should be, if not 1, but 2 in the SEC running back rankings come the end of the year as long as he stays healthy. LSU was outside the top 100. And they can put him out there in the flat, and he can catch a ball, but we need to see a better run game in general, just because that RPO has to come into play. The play action has to get respect. If you can't start a game with that, then you're not going to be able to just have a strong finish in most of your games.
Yeah. So I think we're all on the LSU train on that game. I don't think we picked.
I don't know about you. What are you? Who are you choosing?
I think I'm going to go with LSU. On
okay.
All right.
Something about
be a homer.
Something about you just said LSU. I don't know why.
Just a vibe thing.
Yeah. We didn't pick FSU, Alabama.
I'm going FSU.
You're going FSU?
I'm hard-nosed FSU.
Okay, that's fine.
Just slap him in the mouth.
That's fine.
End of an era.
I think it's gonna be closer than the experts think. A whole lot closer, but I think Alabama's gonna win.
I will live on the air bet on the spread. I will bet $50 that FSU covers the spread live on air.
Okay, well, that's a little different. I mean, just covering the spread, that's a little different. But I mean, that's not a
fuck it. I'll go all the way. I'll bet it.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. It's money line enough with the way you're talking right now.
We'll go. I'll do it live, a little closer.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
It sounds like we already have a shot game, by the way, Rob. I mean, it just sounds like we already have a shot game.
So we do. So each week we do a shot game of the week, and where if we're at odds, you put shots, and it's usually a smaller game, but just to make it interesting. But we put it on big games too. So
that's fun. I like that.
Yeah, and it's fun. But I will also say this. I need people to understand that the reason why Bama might have been the situation that they were in last year wasn't all Kalen. A lot of it's Jalen Milroe, and I'll sit on that. I
love Jalen Milroe.
I
think he's gonna be one of those guys that everyone forgot about, and then like 2 years, some NFL team's gonna have to start him, and he's gonna do fine, and he's gonna make a life for himself. I watch him, and I get a feeling, and I can't really back it up with any data or any real football.
I can't fight this feeling anymore.
Jalen Milroe makes me feel warm inside.
He knows Jalen a little more personal than we do.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm just going through these top games. Non-conference games. There's plenty of conference games where we're going to go over, like Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon at Penn State that we've already touched on, Florida at LSU. That's going to be a big game in the SEC this year, I think.
Florida and Texas, I think, is honestly
Florida, Texas,
one of the most impactful games on the upcoming schedule.
Bama, Georgia. But staying in that week 1, let's just stay in that week 1 real quick. You mentioned it earlier. Catholics at convicts. They're going to visit the jail this time in Miami. I think Miami.
They're both going to visit the stadium because Miami is it's an hour away from their campus.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, they're both visiting teams whenever they play in Miami.
So Miami has Florida coming either week 2 or week 3, and so they got Notre Dame and Florida coming to Miami. I think both visiting teams have the potential to outsell tickets versus the Miami fans. I don't know. I think they do.
Who's slinging the ball for Miami this year?
Carson Beck, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know.
We were talking about his girlfriend on the sidelines. Yeah. I mean, I like Cristobal a lot. I like his play style. I like the aggression, even though it's too aggressive at times, like not kneeling it and then losing to Georgia Tech that one time. But I like his playbook. I like the spread. I like the motion play that he does to get teams out of position. It works. I don't think Carson Beck is a step up from Cam Ward.
Absolutely not.
Cam Ward was the GOAT. Cam Ward was crazy good, and he wasn't even trying that much.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is we have our local boy, so we're based out of Pensacola.
Yeah.
I went to Milton. Emory Williams, he's been the backup there. He's from Milton High School. And he got to play against FSU and
then got hurt.
He was driving for a comeback tie against them 2 years ago and then broke his arm. But
we talked about that on the podcast, and then I was at that game. It was a good game to be at, and then Emory Williams came in. I was like, let's go, Pensacola boy. And then he got hurt, and I was like, damn, dude. So, yeah, backup city if Carson Beck gets hurt again. Emory Williams is not a bad backup.
No, we would love to see Emory Williams get a shot again, man, because the guy was elite. He was a elite 11 quarterback. He was, I think, a highest ranked
elite 11.
Although he was a 4-star at one point. And so I played baseball with his brother. So I mean, I want to see the kid thrive, right?
Yeah.
I want to see the kid do everything good. But yeah, I mean, I really couldn't give a damn if Carson Beck thrives or not. I mean, the guy was supposed to be he was supposed to be in the NFL last year or this upcoming year, and now he's not.
I think it's one of those things where Miami's not.
Sorry, you're not getting the full
my
effect.
headphones.
Yeah.
I took them off; they weren't working.
Off.
Oh shit!
Miami just doesn't seem like a plug-and-play offense at the quarterback position, and like Carson Beck is just. I mean, call me a casual, but he just kind of seems like whatever, right? I mean, I don't know. He's fine.
No disagreement. Yeah,
throws the ball fine. It's like, I feel like you need a little bit of a spark like Cam Ward was to make Miami like as scary as they were last year. I think I'm taking Notre Dame. Like I don't know.
That game, I really couldn't tell you right now.
I couldn't tell you right now either. I want to go Miami just because I think Miami's defense is pretty good, and they're gonna be at home at least. And we have CJ Carr first college start.
If one team's going to be able to know what that weather climate's going to be, I don't care if that's going to be 6:30. It's still going to be Florida down south in August.
Muggy, rainy, probably.
I mean, you're just not getting that same vibe in Indiana. In Indiana during training camp, it's 80 degrees, and these guys are hurting. For Miami, it's 110.
Yeah, feels like 110 in this room right now while we're at it. And then the last time Notre Dame went to Miami in 2017, you mentioned it earlier. Miami whooped that ass, and it was true. I think it was Notre Dame was like ranked 3, and I think Miami was like 7 or so. That was the year Miami went undefeated and then lost to Pittsburgh in the last week of the season.
Notre Dame was also notorious for starting off the year like a joke.
Yeah.
Even when they're ranked. Like, they are notorious for it. Marshall did it to them. NIU did it to them. Miami did it to them. Like, they are notorious for, I mean, hell, we all thought Texas was back at one point because Notre Dame lost as the 10th ranked team in the country the first week of the year to Texas, and I think it was 2012.
Joey says the Canes don't show up to the games. They don't like showing up to their home games. They travel decent.
You think that's because of the heat?
No, I think it's because when you look at, I have thought about this because when you look at the old Orange Bowl where they used to play closer to campus in Coral Gables, it was a little bit closer. That was a packed out stadium.
They don't get packed.
Travel thing?
It was I think
no students are showing.
Yeah,
up
no students. It's off campus. I think they need a closer stadium or something. Yeah, no students show up.
You gotta be able to walk to the game, bro.
Yeah, Lionel Messi's getting more people showing up at his MLS games for them than Miami. I think
absolutely.
Yeah. So which no, I mean,
not really surprising.
Yeah, not surprising at all. Yeah, with the demographic down in South Florida, I mean, it's pretty much a different country.
Agreed.
Country that loves
soccer,
football.
Yes.
The other kind of football. Yeah, I think that's most of the week one, if not all of the week one big games. But I'm excited for week one. Week 0 is coming up.
I don't even know what week 0 is looking like this year. Is there any big games on week 0?
Yeah, let me look.
Yeah, that's where I'm kind of lost. Is like, hey, is week 0 going to be good or not?
And I saw you. We might even do some of this, like a live broadcast of like games. Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, like I think you might have mentioned that to me. One of you guys did.
Even if we'd get hit for copyright stuff, we could just have the sound.
Yeah, no, it'd be a live thing.
Week 0 looks like shit, man.
Week 0 does look like shit.
There's the Ireland game. It's Iowa State and Kansas State, but then it's just UNLV, Idaho State, Fresno State, Kansas, Sam Houston, Western Kentucky, and Stanford and Hawaii.
And then you got Boise State at South Florida. Not bad. Oh, I guess August 30th is technically week 0. So
No. August 23rd is because they have Saturday. It's Saturday.
Oh, that is Saturday. Okay.
So August 23rd is week 0, and it's looking like shit. So
yeah.
I mean, we're not getting FSU Georgia Tech this year.
Still,
that was a great, phenomenal way
to start
off 2024. It was such a great way to do it, man. I loved that.
Sorry to our FSU fans, aka Joey in the chat, but yeah, I mean, East Carolina at NC State on Thursday is interesting just because it's a in-state rivalry.
That game's so good.
Or maybe
2 years ago.
Is East Carolina in North Carolina or South Carolina? I think it's in South Carolina.
Greenville, North Carolina.
Is it in North Carolina? Okay.
Is Greenville in South or North Carolina?
I think it's in North Carolina. I think you're right.
Let's hope so.
Yeah. So
I know they're rivals. They're rivals, and I remember 2 years ago they played this game, and it was at East Carolina, and it was awesome. Also, NC State just lost its defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Marshall. We'll see how that plays out for my guys. But outside that, I mean, we're not going to see much on the Thursday night. And in the Friday night game, we got Auburn and Baylor, which I love this game. The Auburn-Baylor – okay, actually, since we're talking week 1 games, this Auburn-Baylor game is a big one. In my mind, I think Auburn, that's a team right there that has sold its soul for this year. It needs a great one. And Baylor has a good quarterback in Sawyer Robinson.
At Baylor. This is an interesting non-conference matchup here. Yeah, I mean, I think people are sleeping on Auburn. I can't tell you if they're going to win or not, but a lot of people are high on Auburn. I mean, I watched them at SEC Media Days. Hugh Freeze, not a big Hugh Freeze guy, but I think they got something cooking this year for whatever reason. Baylor's a tough place to play. You got to go to Waco, Texas, and face the whole yellowed out crowd, dude. I don't know. And I don't know enough about Baylor to say one way or another.
Sawyer Robinson's all you need to know, man. He's a phenomenal quarterback. He's really good.
I think I remember talking about him last year a few times.
Dave Aranda could be a great coach. Is he still the coach there? I think he's still the coach there, at least. I don't keep up with Baylor that much, but I know Auburn they're going to have a great front seven. They have 2 top 10 defensive linemen. They have 2 top 10 wide receivers. They just grabbed Jackson Arnold from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
This team has sold its soul for this year. But knowing Hugh Freeze, what does that really mean? Because Hugh Freeze...
He's going to fuck cheerleaders.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yes. He's
going to fuck 2 cheerleaders.
He commits harder to being hard than to trying to win.
Was it fucking cheerleaders? Is that
It might as well been. Yeah. But the thing is
allegedly
he doesn't fully commit to winning games.
Yeah.
And this team can be, if you have the right coach for this team this year, I think it's going to be a good team. But Hugh Freeze is not that guy.
This is a little bit of a side tangent, but where do you think Hugh Freeze would still have a career if he didn't beat Bama twice in a row? I feel like that's the only thing that he's still like riding on.
I mean,
it's
not that he beat Bama twice. It's he beat Saban.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
He beat Saban
2 years in a row. Like that's. I feel like anytime he gets brought up, that's the only thing anyone can say about him. Like, did I wasn't really. I was like 12 during that era. Was Ole Miss like? Did they win anything important other than that?
Ole Miss had good teams. Yeah. The Land Shark. I mean, that whole shit was Hugh Freeze. I think Ole Miss was. I mean, Alabama wasn't sleeping on them. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they were just cakewalking and then they got beat. I think they were looking out for Ole Miss. And, they had some good Who was the quarterback? One of the quarterbacks?
It was
the buzz cut.
Chad Kelly.
It was Chad Kelly, dude. Yeah, Chad Kelly. He was a Chad.
Legend.
He was super Chad.
He's in jail now.
What?
I saw something. It was like Chad
He
Kelly.
got. I know he's been arrested. I know that for sure.
Yeah, he's probably not in jail.
But those games, the Ole Miss Bama games, those were so. That was honestly. So there's something funny about those because that was 2012. That was a shell-shocking moment because Bama was like at the peak, right? They were just untouchable. They were the god of God.
Thanks for
college
watching,
football.
Joey. Joey's heading out here. He said, "Go Noles."
See you, Joey.
Thank you for watching.
Whenever they got beat by Ole Miss, that was, in my opinion, the first time that we had saw Nick Saban really get like chipped at by like a shell-shocking win.
Yeah.
That was the first time we saw it happen. Which also, here's a great point. There hasn't been an Alabama loss out that in the regular season on the road that the team's fans did not rush the field. It's probably since Nick Saban's been there.
Right.
Yeah, they've rushed the field every single game. They can literally not be ranked, and they would still.
I think
rush
the
fucking
SEC
field.
doubled
last
fines.
for a couple more years.
I think SEC doubled fines for field rushes this year.
Which we saw Tennessee do it. Which I thought Tennessee wasn't going to do it. I was like, you don't need to do it. You can act like you deserve to be here, and they did it. They're like, no, we did it again.
Yeah, we did it again.
We
Yeah,
did it again.
yeah. When they did
It's
it again.
No, but yeah.
Vandy putting the field goal post in the river.
That's one of the best things that
Vandy
was
deserves
absolutely.
it.
They could have burned a building down and it would have been fine.
Yeah,
like, that was literally unheard of. But I will say this:
That was the greatest thing I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Sorry, Casey. Yeah.
No, I mean that was amazing. You dream. That's what college football is about.
It was
that
so,
moment.
I mean, it was so shell shocking.
Yeah.
But I will say, going
Javier.
back to the Ole Miss losses, it was funny. That was the first time we saw Saban show he was human, and that was also after they won that game with Bama, they turned around and lost to Florida, and that was the first time in probably like 2 years you felt like a Florida fan again, right?
Mm-hmm.
We beat a ranked team, and we were playing like crap. It's like, oh, wait, we feel like 2008 again right now. You know, we had like a weird energy as a Florida fan that year because we finally got a big win again. We weren't losing to Vandy and Mizzou, you know.
That was Will Greer year, right? You're talking about Will Greer year?
Was that Will Greer's year?
In 2015, I think we're talking when Ole Miss came in ranked like five or something. Yeah. And then got destroyed.
Yeah.
Got destroyed by Florida that year. Yeah. And then the game that was the game after everyone was like, "Oh, he's on PEDs," and then got suspended or whatever.
And it was coincidentally right before the LSU game, which we still had a chance that we competed in, right?
Yeah. I think Tyler Murphy was the quarter. No, not Tyler Murphy.
Trayvon
Harris.
Trayvon Harris.
Yeah.
And then it was Leonard Fournette's year too. So, I was like, oh, great. We got to go face Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
We just lost our quarterback. And then we were 6-1. We still had a decent year that year. I wasn't mad about it. Wait, did we make conference championship that year? I think we did.
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
We played Alabama.
That's right. Yeah.
And lost. But
by a lot.
Still had some good highlights in that game. It was fun.
It was okay.
It was all right. But to this Friday night you're talking about, so another game, the game that I'm kind of looking at, early prediction, Georgia Tech at Colorado. I think Georgia Tech beats Colorado on the road at Folsom Field. So I'm big on Georgia Tech. I like what they got going on. I like the new offense. They've moved away from the spread a few years now. What's their coach's name? It's escaping me right now.
What are you talking about?
Georgia Tech.
Oh, he's notorious for winning ranked ACC games, though. Like he was.
Well, in Haynes King, we trust. Haynes King's a junior this year, 6'3", 215 pounds. He's gonna take he's gonna be one of those spread quarterbacks who can take the ball and run with it.
I don't know why, but a lot of people that
Brett Key, that's what it is.
Brett Key, yeah. No, I mean Georgia Tech should have all of the resources available to them to be a good team. They're in a decent conference in the ACC. They're in a big city in Atlanta, so they can sign NIL deals for their players. They have the market for it. Something has to be unlocked where they win football games. Yep. And they have a decent schedule too. After Colorado, if they win that one, they got a cupcake in Gardner-Webb, and then they play Clemson. You beat Clemson, Georgia Tech's off to the races this year. Yeah, because the rest of their schedule pretty cake until you get to Georgia, who they almost beat last year.
We can't forget about these two. Virginia Tech at South Carolina, going to be a great game. We get to see Lenore's back in there. We get to see Virginia Tech, see what they can do. Also, we get the last game of week 1, the Monday nighter, TCU and Mr. Bill Belichick's college debut.
Yeah,
at UNC.
That's going to be fun.
What's your prediction for UNC with Belichick
this season?
Yeah,
I have none right
His
now.
girlfriend's hot. That's what I'm thinking.
I have 0.
His girlfriend's hot.
Like, I'm not even like anyone that tries to make a prediction on Belichick and UNC, I think you are shooting blanks and you are just shooting in the dark right now.
Bill Belichick's shooting blanks and it doesn't matter.
But it is you're shooting in the dark because we have 0 idea.
Yeah.
There's no track record. Bill, except for he has 6 Super Bowls.
I mean,
now, what does that mean in college? We have nothing.
No, I'm excited.
He also ended off on a bad note in the NFL. Now, what does that mean? Once again, we don't have one because it's college. It's a whole different landscape. We have 0 idea. I did get to interview Gio Lopez. Young kid, very fun to talk to. He's got a lot of high energy. And Belichick he pulls up a lot of plays from when he coached for the Patriots. You know, he pulls up clips of Brady when he's talking to his quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to coaching, he's still going to be Bill Belichick. How's that going to translate to the college atmosphere? I have 0 clue. And if anyone's saying that it's going to be great or bad, like Paul Feinbaum trying to diss him earlier this week, I think you're just shooting in the dark, man, because no one has any idea. So no one should even act like they have a single clue.
I think they're going to go to a good bowl. I mean, I'm looking at Clemson.
TCU's favored on the road right now.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. I'll take North Carolina. I like Max Johnson. He's a 6-year senior. Yeah. When was that? Yeah, exactly. I like Max Johnson.
No, he's not a bad quarterback.
He's a good quarterback under Bill Belichick.
He's got Max and Gio. We'll see which one ends up winning. I mean,
I think you gotta trust Max in this one, dude.
But if you're trying to build something like past this season, why would you not start with Gio? Because it's funny enough, Gio and Max were both at Manning Passing Academy. I think Max had a better showing, but both are lefties. So, the thing is you can build a playbook the exact same. It's not going to flip up too many things like you did with Jalen and Tua with Bama. That might throw some things off, right? But you can kind of build it to their favor of what you want a lefty to run.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if he switches them out. I don't think Belichick would be a kind of coach to do that. The Spurrier route, I don't think he'll do that. I would like to see Max Johnson in his last year, because this will be his last year, just go out in a blaze of glory and go pretty much undefeated this entire season.
He lost the job at Texas A&M. Why? I mean, why should he have it?
Who do you even lose it to?
It's the guy
Wegman?
who lost it to Marcel Reed last year.
Wegman?
Yeah, Connor Wegman. Yeah,
Marcel Reed, pretty fucking decent guy. I like Marcel Reed.
So funny enough, that guy, he was also at Manning Passing Academy. He was the only one that didn't play, but he was having a good time though. I can confirm that he was having a good time.
All right, I keep that one for. I mean, you're keeping that on the alleged status. All right, that's fine. No, I like North Carolina. I got high hopes for him. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. I think that about wraps it up, guys.
It's been a good one.
Yeah,
we're back off and running. We can learn from the technical difficulties. Logan, excited to have you, man.
I'm excited to get into the season with you guys.
Yeah. And shout out to the people in the chat. We had about 21 to 22 live listeners at the peak there. So, follow us, share it everywhere at CFBE Extravaganza, and follow Logan Brown at Logan Brown Comedy and Justin at JPatrick _ on air, and then me at R Vincent Comedy. It's gonna be a fun year, guys. Good episode. Thank you
for it.
Here we go.
These people don't give a shit.
Who's giving them the business? All the band is out on the field.